Hey, good morning. This is Lisa Allen, and in this video I'm just going to go over some of the features inside Social Link Machine because I've had a few questions after my email yesterday about what the features are and how they compare. So I'm just going to kind of go over and highlight the things that I really like about Social Link Machine. Now this is on one of my demo sites, so it doesn't really have like a lot of posts in here, but it makes a good place for me to go over and show you exactly what you get. Okay, so first of all, when you install the plugin, there are some default settings that you need to set up. And so first of all, do you want the plugin to be on or off? Choose a blog category. That's used sometimes for some of the accounts that you post to. You get to choose whether it picks posts or pages, and then you've got the excerpt length, so you can choose how much of that post or page it takes and syndicates. Now there's also a minimum content length, so if there is a post or a page that doesn't have very much content on it and isn't a good share, you can filter those out automatically by setting a minimum content length. So that's a good anti-spam prevention technique. Now also on the scheduling, what it does is it drip feeds them out at intervals, and so you can have it either choose your newest posts first and then go backwards, or you can have it choose your oldest post first and then go forwards as it posts, or you can have it on random. Now random is probably the best way because it looks most natural, but it's nice that you have that option to choose exactly how it's going to behave there. Now another really neat feature here is that you can choose a custom time frame, and so you can choose what days of the week it will go. You can choose what hours, so it's not posting in the middle of the night, so you can really make it emulate natural user behavior, because a lot of shares would happen during daylight hours, and you can even choose your time zone, so you know exactly when those posts are going to be dripped out. You just have to turn that on here. Now it can also ping new posts, and it can add videos and images to your content as it's sharing it. So it can add a YouTube video. You can turn that on if you want it to start adding YouTube videos and add images. Now there's also this probability factor, which I think is really neat. That means you can precisely control how often a video is added, because if a video is always added, then it might look kind of unnatural, or if an image is always added, it might look kind of unnatural. So that makes the posts, kind of breaks them up and varies them so that what is going out looks a lot more natural. So that's another really nice feature. Now, homepage backlinks, a lot of things backlink just the individual pages on your site, but they don't ever backlink to the home page. And so if you want to get occasional homepage backlinking, you just turn this on, and then you get to set how often. So probability factor of 10 means that 10% of the time it will generate a backlink to the home page. And you can even control how there's like a whole bunch of variations of how those backlinks can look, and it will kind of randomly choose between the ones that you have active. So if you want to say to read more on this topic, visit, and then you see there's like a tag that you can put in there, click here, and if you put those one per line, and it will just randomly choose from those. So it breaks up your anchor text so it looks more natural. And you also can have it do pages that don't have a click here, they don't have an actual hyperlink in them. It's just a plain mention of the URL, and so that again makes it look more natural. There's also a lot of read more text, so that where it says to read more, then it can randomize this as well. So those are some really great features that make it so that you can make your syndication and your sharing look very, very natural. And I think that's really one of the big strengths of this, is that the last time you had this much control, and you didn't even have quite this much control over how it did this, was when Ping FM was around, and I haven't really seen anything that gives you this much control since. Now I also want to look at the integrations. There is a bunch of different things that you can integrate with, so it accesses a lot of the most commonly used external services. So you've got URL shorteners, and you can have 3 of them, and you can also, it will kind of randomize them. You have the option to randomize which URL shorteners are being used, and so there's those 3. You can also pull external content, as I mentioned, from your RSS feeds, and that is what my bonus will help you find, is good RSS feeds to pull content from. Also, there's Article Builder, which has, content that you can pull in there. So if you have an Article Builder account, you can enable this and have it pull in articles for you and create content that way. Now it also has backlink indexer integrations with 3 different index services. So if you have an index service that you already have an account with, or you want to get one, it will take these 3. As far as content spinning, it does also integrate with Spin Rewriter and the Best Spinner, and so you can see that it has a lot of options to just really integrate with everything and make everything look really natural, and kind of randomize things and make it look so that the footprint is not very much at all. Now let's talk a little bit about the accounts that are in here. You can see that we have all of these different social accounts are available. We can, so instead of just hitting one kind of sharing, like it always shares text, or it always shares videos, or always shares with a blog, it has access to several different types of platforms, including bookmarking sites and Web 2.0, and it even has access to some PDF sharing sites, which is another really good way of getting some external traffic, because PDF sharing sites are very popular, and so that's a nice addition there. So let's just add an account, or I'm just going to show you how to add an account. So we just add an account here. You select which network you're going to use. So let's use Delicious. And okay, so under the account details, you just fill in the account name and your password. This would obviously be the name that you want it to appear in your list, so that you know what account it is. And you can turn on auto sharing. So for this account, you can do it on or off. You can choose how many posts per 24 hours it's going to, or how many posts per every so many hours it's going to do. You can designate this as a tier 2 account, which means that you can build backlinks to your backlinks with this, which is also a really nice feature. You can choose whether you want to spin the content that goes to the account or not, and then there is also a bunch of, so you can put tags in here, so you can reformat the title. So you could put your site name in here if you wanted to, along with the title, or you could have, some other keyword in here, and then you choose the excerpt. You can also maybe include your read more tags here, and then you can test the account, make sure that it's doing what you want to, which is another really nice feature. So you just fill this stuff in here and click test, and it will test the account so you can see what it's doing and if it's doing what you expect it to do. Now there's also some advanced settings. On this, you can choose whether this account should have external videos added, or images, or whether you want to share external content or use RSS, and then the URL shortener that you want to use. So you want to use a specific one, or on this account all the time, or do you want to randomize it? And and then there's also these short codes that you can use inside the information that you filled in. So you have the title, the excerpt that's generated by WordPress, the image, that's the featured image, and the URL, the read more, the HTML excerpt, video titles. And so you can see that it gives you a lot of really freedom to fill in what you need and to really format what's syndicated in a very different manner. And you can add multiple accounts also. So you could have, several accounts doing something slightly different as they're syndicating. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is that it has a submission log. So everything that has been submitted, you can see exactly what it did. Now, a lot of times these kinds of plugins will kind of just send that off into the ether, and it tells you that it's syndicated this many things, but you don't really have the URL, so you can't go and check its work. You can't take those links and go and do something else with it, and if it fails, it just fails, and there's nothing you can do about it. But this one, you actually can reschedule syndications that failed. And so that makes it really, really nice for you to be able to take your work and go and build additional backlinks and that sort of thing. So that's all I really had on the features of Social Link Machine, but I think you can see that it's really powerful in that it allows you to syndicate in a way that looks very natural, and it has access to a lot of different accounts, a lot of different types of accounts. Now, if you add the network add-on, there are a lot more accounts that you can get to. Now, the network account is actually an add-on, and I believe it's a recurring, but it is a very small price compared to some of the others that you might see, like OnlyWire and even CyndiWire is something like $300 for a lifetime license, or $200 for a yearly license, which is quite a lot. So even though they have a monthly cost, it's a very small one comparatively, and you get access to thousands, really thousands of platforms. So that's it for my video on the features of Social Link Machine this morning. I hope you found it enlightening and think about the ways that you can work this into your business. So that's it, and I will talk to you again soon.